Welcome to Daily. I'm your host. This show's not really consistent enough to the point where I can say that this one's going to be a little bit different. But it is a special one. Episode 50. This is episode 50. Half of 100. It's important because, well, we've got 10 fingers. And as such, as humanity, civilization has gone, we've gone to a base 10 numbering system. And 100 is a very nice representation of that. And 50 is half of that. So I want to do some retrospective, just some stats, I guess. About 49 episodes, only one retake, which I did talk about, 8.5 hours of podcast content. I know it's not incredibly impressive over 49 episodes, but let me impress you less. About 4 hours of that, just ambient noise from wherever I'm at. And that's what I have for metrics. Oh, and this is the only one. This is the first one, this particular episode, where I actually kind of wrote a script and practiced before recording. But that's it. That's what I have for metrics. This podcast is on all the platforms, mostly. Amazon Music, Spotify. While I was writing this, I realized that I don't have Apple Podcasts. I thought I did, but I don't know. Maybe it was something. I think it was something to do with getting their account. And of course, using the script winds up with issues. Okay, yeah. It's something to do with the account. I've got YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Player FM, etc. You can see them all on the website at vaguelygeneric.website. But I've never once actually looked at those metrics, so there is a real chance that I'm speaking into the void. And that's okay because of what the goal of this podcast is. That goal is for me to take 5 minutes every day, get away from screens, and just be in the moment. Sometimes I focus on my breathing. Sometimes I just kind of look around at what's around me. Sometimes I watch the clouds. I listen to birds. I'm not like a mindfulness guru or anything like that. I just happen to know that I am an empirically more pleasant person to be around when I do that every day. So pretty much, yeah, this podcast, it's for me. It's not for you. That's at least part of the reason why I don't look at listener metrics. It's not to say I don't want you to enjoy it, though. The other day, I actually had a mental image as I was finishing up the Cautionary Tales for Children poems. It was just the absolute chaos of a family in the morning, getting ready for school or getting ready for the day. Kids throwing pancakes at each other, babies crying, maybe a parent trying to get some lunches together. And the parent plops down their phone or uses Alexa or whatever and starts an episode of this podcast. The kids might pay attention a little bit. Maybe they learn something. Maybe they develop an intense fear of helium balloons. That one was a bad one. Or maybe they completely ignore it in favor of punching their siblings. And then the gong hits. Silence descends. The sounds from outside make their way in through the window. The sound of silverware scratching on plates and bowls rules the air. 5 minutes later, the gong hits again. The chaos restarts. I like that mental image. So it's mostly for me to take 5 minutes each day. It has been 89 days since I recorded the first episode on April 21st, 2026. The math nerds may have caught a little fun fact that I snuck in there, and I'll do my best to kind of break it down and explain it. 50 is not the same number as 89, which is crazy. Right towards the end of May, I forgot to record an episode. I just kind of spaced it. And then I forgot the next day. And then I completely forgot I was doing a podcast. I was working on other stuff. Then I remembered. Then I recorded an episode about forgetting. Then I forgot to actually process that episode. And then I thought, it doesn't really make sense. Doesn't work to have a show called Daily that's not done daily. Maybe I should just give this up. And then I remembered why I made it. So I made some changes to the tech I use and some changes to my workflow. Since this might wind up being more of an intro into what this is or what it's turned into in your face episode 1, let me walk you through how this goes from my mouth to your ears, which phrased that way is kind of gross or romantic, whatever. At some point throughout the day, I decide to record. I throw on a shirt so that I've got a consistent spot to attach my lav mic. Figure out where I want to record, usually outside, usually in the shade, because start recording and say the intro, which I think is a little bit more consistent now, but I'm not going to go back and listen to him to confirm that. I still go back and forth on welcome to daily and this is daily and I'm whatever. If I have something to read already in mind, like the cautionary tales for children's, I settle in and I read it. If I've picked some subject that I wanted to talk more about, or I just start some commentary, usually previously skimming Wikipedia. If I don't have a subject, I talk about what I can see or what I can hear, or I just say, I've got nothing. And then I play an MP3 that I made long before COVID was a thing. 5 minutes begins, then the 5 minutes is over. I say some stuff about using gratitude and verbalization to make your world a little bit better, and that's it. That's the podcast. That's what you're getting into. So, how do I get it the rest of the way? Well, I share the raw file from my phone via SyncThing or Google Drive. I go to my computer, run it through my pipeline. It's a Python script app that normalizes the audio, converts it to an MP3, uploads it to archive.org, and generates a markdown file with the file data, like size, length, and archive identifier. I even went on a fun tangent. There's a whole section in there of generating videos. I just did that because it was fun. I don't use it for this podcast. That pipeline is available on GitHub. I'll throw those in the show notes. I copied the markdown file into my website, which is made with an open source static site generator called Jekyll. Fill in those show notes, thumbnail sometimes, and then I push it out. Got an automatic GitHub workflow. And the next day, that episode will get picked up by the podcast platforms, because then it shows up on the RSS feed, which they all point to. The website, also on GitHub, and that's it. That's all. That's all there is to it. One of the things I did recently was allow for front loading of episodes. Some folks call it having episodes in the bank or banking episodes, but I like front loading. Since I'm now hyper aware of why I'm doing this, mostly to spend 5 minutes every day for me, I only do one in advance. It kind of defeats the purpose of front loading a whole bunch of them, like recording 6 of these and spending 5 minutes of silence 6 times in a single day and then just ignoring that for a week. Not why I'm doing this. So between my pipeline and then the automatic GitHub actions, I wake up the next day. So I'll wake up tomorrow, and soon my podcast app will tell me that there's a new episode. Essentially, I'm trying to code myself out of excuses. I recently had a lot of fun reading cautionary tales for children. I'm still not sure, though, that that's going to be the groove of this podcast. I did like already knowing what I was going to do for the next few days. There's something that to be said for that, because you'll notice that these last couple of episodes after I finish the book, they're a little bit more rambly. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll pick another book and do poems. Maybe I'll do Monday, Wednesday, Friday poem or short story, or just maybe I'll have something fun that I'll keep in my back pocket when I'm not feeling motivated enough to do research on something, or just want to say, I got nothing, guys. So that's what this is. Spiritually, it's remembering that we're in the real world. You can get caught up online and then observe that real world. Philosophically, it's about openness. That's kind of why I was talking about my workflow and all of that. All the code's available on GitHub. Everything is freely available. Nothing closed source is used, and there's no platform lock-in. The closest thing to that is GitHub Pages, which is where I am hosting the site itself and the RSS feed. But everything is set up. I can move that to Vercel or Cloudflare or any of a number of other things if/when GitHub gets too crappy and or evil. You guys know, everyone who knows, companies are getting more crappy and evil. I just read something about the company LG. Super high-end, expensive monitors for like gaming and stuff like that. High refresh rate, OLED, etc. You plug it in, and in the background, without your consent, it installs some software. And that software is essentially adware, malware, spyware. People started getting pop-ups for McAfee antivirus. And yeah, The user agreement. I found a video on it. Maybe I'll put it in the show notes if I can find it again. I'm not a huge fan of videos as far as getting information across, but whatever. That's just because I'm old. Part of the user agreement has a section that says that you have told, you as the person who owns the monitor, you've told anyone who may be within mic range of that monitor everything that you need to be covered by the wiretapping and eavesdropping laws in your jurisdiction. So like if you're in a one-party state, nothing. But if you're in a two-party state, you have to be like, just so you know, everything around this is being recorded. Which, I don't know, man, that's madness. So yeah, that's it. This is the first episode where I did some prep, where I scripted it out, where I practiced twice, talking into a mirror, talking to the better half. Episode 50, 89 days, 50 episodes. Hopefully that next milestone, that's going to be 100 days, or 100 episodes in 139 days. And go from there. So now, even though it's not always the longest part of the podcast, welcome. Glad you're here. And this is what it's about. Just breathe. Figure out what you're grateful for. Put some words to it. Tell somebody what those words are. Tell them what you're grateful for. Online, in person. Make your world a better place.